Hello everyone and welcome to the week 7 video. My name is Jerome Cuson, of course, your instructor for this class, and this is the first of 4 videos. This is the only one that I'm producing for this week. There are 2 videos that are focused on the idea of what is a discourse and what is a discourse community, and there is also an audio lecture that I did about the Ann Johns piece. So definitely make sure that you are checking out that piece of audio as well as the other 2 videos once you get done with this weekly rundown of the 7th week of the semester. So there are 2 published examples of discourse community essays to look at. They are different and will provide an excellent idea of how to describe and analyze specific discourse communities. In the discussion board, I'm specifically asking you to identify the lexes and the genres contained within the Mirabelli piece. This is absolutely something you will have to do within your own discourse communities, essays. The journal is going to ask you to consider some of the stereotypes surrounding football coaches and how the discourse community asks you to reconsider these stereotypes. Finally, the one-pager is an early draft of 2 key sections from your upcoming discourse analysis assignment. This essay is one students struggle with, and I want to make sure you are on the right track. So here are some notes from the Mirabelli piece. It is a great introduction as the author discusses a review website and how an external site may affect a discourse community. Part of what you are being asked to do is to understand the concept of being a server. It is a real job that requires a specific kind of knowledge. Okay? The other thing you're being asked to do is that Mirabelli says is that it provides academic definitions for what servers are, and I think that's very helpful to understand as you get ready to describe your own discourse communities. Also explains what the restaurant is and how he generated his research, so providing a methodology section, something that you will also be doing. He also identifies the menu as a key genre. If you are still not familiar with the idea of a genre, of a lexi, then this is something that is really, really important. Okay, this reading, part of the reason that I have you read these examples this week, is so that you start to understand these academic terms like lexes and genres. Okay, the other thing about Mirabelli is that you are not only understanding specific words, but how to interpret specific conversations. And Mirabelli ends by discussing the idea of fast capitalism in the conclusion and discussing the discourse/occupation. So it's really important that you read over this carefully and that you understand just how important it is to look at a discourse community. So for the discussion board for this week, the 7th discussion board, you will respond to Tony Mirabelli's Learning to Serve. As I mentioned, this is an important reading for you to understand just how you can get to understanding these important aspects of what a discourse community is. Mirabelli discusses a number of issues relating to his time as a server at an Italian restaurant. He discusses how important the menu is, as well as numerous examples of how language is used. In a 200 to 250 word response, explain how Mirabelli justifies the existence of lose as a discourse community. What are some of the lexes used? Why is the menu so important as a genre? You should keep in mind how important genres are in your own discourse community. Why do people underestimate people who work at a restaurant, even one that presents itself in a more professional manner than some family-style, regular, and fast food restaurants? So your initial post will be due by Tuesday, March the 2nd at 10 p.m., and then your 2 initial response posts will be due by Sunday, March the 7th at 10 p.m. The other example of a discourse community essay that you are reading is entitled Coaches Can Read Too. Okay, and this talks about the idea of a football coach and a football profession as a discourse community. This is an influential profession, but many do not understand the nuances of what it takes to be a successful one. Understand the 5 goals and that being an excellent coach on any level requires skills with all of them. Okay, so Brannick goes over 5 goals And in order to be a good coach, they have to meet all 5 of those goals. They have to be able to achieve all of those goals at the same time. The author states that football as a literacy practice has not been researched. It is important to understand the value of understanding how language is used in many kinds of discourse communities. Goals, lexes, and genres are clearly laid out over a couple pages. So again, it is important that for your own essay, you will highlight goals that the discourse community has, some of the various lexes as well as the genres, and this is another example for you to use to help understand these concepts. A coach must be able to read the playbook, his or her own players, and what is happening in the actual game itself. Football coaching is more complicated than people give it credit for. Coaches can read too connects directly to the journal entry. So in order to complete the journal entry for week 7, you first need to complete Coaches Can Read Too. Answer the following question about 3/4 of a page. How does Brannick convince you that being a football coach is a discourse community? Consider some of the stereotypes attached to football coaches as you answer this question. And this journal entry must be uploaded to the Dropbox by Thursday, March the 4th at 10 p.m. And finally, there's the one-pager for the week. The discourse community analysis is proven to be the most difficult essay of the major assignments that we do. We do 3 of them. This tends to be the most difficult. I want you to complete an early draft of one of your introductory paragraphs and the methodology section. I would like to get some background on your specific discourse community. You will write one about discourse communities in a more general way for next week in the first draft, but I want you to learn more about yours so I can provide guidance and make sure you are on track. The methodology paragraph should follow the directions in the assignment sheet. Okay, so you are giving me 2 paragraphs. For the first draft, you can give me as many pages as you want, but for this one-pager, it must be only 2 paragraphs. Do not write more than 2 paragraphs. Okay, you are writing the introductory paragraph that is about your discourse community and the methodology one. Okay, that is it for this week. I want to wish you luck and to be safe and to be well. Thank you.